Well, good morning, crew. Hope you're doing great. First off, well done. I know this is an adjustment to the typical schedule that many of you have been working under to have a class for 8 weeks, and certain that those 2 additional weeks stretch you in some unique ways. I know you guys are all busy, as am I, with all sorts of details. So, well done finishing a run of 8 weeks. Hope the class has been helpful to you. I think you'll find that classes like this are not the kind that you necessarily put on the shelf and forget about. Because whatever you're doing in your future careers and ministry involves rightly handling the Word. And we want to be, as Paul instructs Timothy, the workmen approved. Men and women who can read God's Word, discern the clear meaning of the authors, and apply it to the people that we love and lead. So you're only going to get better at doing this over time as long as you continue to work and continue to refine your skills. So I would encourage you to maintain good, helpful Bible study practices every time you're able to teach the Word. The temptation is to just throw something together as we're running between activities and events and things we've got to do. To grab the next thing off the shelf or pull a message that we've done before, just doodle something in a notebook and go and hope it works. But to do that, you really lose a lot of the good habits that hopefully you've begun to pick up over this course. The other thing I wanted to communicate to you this week is as you'll see in the discussion board, the role of God's Spirit is quite clear in both the revealing of the Word, sustaining it, protecting it from error, but also in illuminating our minds to understand it. And so, as a result, the spiritual disciplines work in tandem, as it were. So you're not necessarily praying over here and then doing Bible study over here and then fasting over here and then sharing your faith over here. These disciplines all work in tandem. So if we're not prayerful and availing ourselves to the power of the Spirit in our lives, well then we're not likely to interpret the Bible well. We're not likely to be filled with the Spirit in such a way that we can discern the author's meaning and apply it to our context. If we're not regularly practicing fasting, or if we're not sharing our faith, these things are going to work in tandem in our lives. So spiritual disciplines all go together, as Paul says to Timothy in 1 Timothy 4, that spiritual disciplines are for the purpose of godliness. So we're doing all this so that we would be more godly, and in turn that we would equip the saints that we lead to be more godly. So would encourage you, if you are currently kind of sloppy or haphazard in your spiritual disciplines, that you're not magically going to be a good Bible student if you're not consistently in prayer, consistently fasting, consistently sharing the Word, consistently sharing the gospel with non-believers, so forth and so on. These things run in tandem together. So I pray, if nothing else, these 8 weeks have served like an appetizer at a restaurant. They've whet your appetite for something more that will develop into a lifelong pursuit of God's Word.